Last weekend, government ministers grounded with the people of the Rupununi, Region 9, listening to their issues and concerns and providing support to the various communities. This activity was the largest ever conducted in any one region. The 19-member team was spread out in the North Rupununi, Central Rupununi, the Deep South Rupununi, and the South Pakaraima. On this Info Hub In-Depth, we take a look at the ministerial team and their activities in the North Rupununi and South Pakaraima.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
The ministerial team visited and was warmly welcomed by residents of villages including Surama, Rupati, Anai, Aranaputa, Waweta, Quatamang, Toka, and Rewa in the North Rupununi, and Tiger Pond and Karasabai in the South Pakaraima. In the North Rupununi, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock met with the residents of Toka, which is located 20 minutes west of Anai Sub-District. There, the minister presented farming tools to the village council. He said the government is focusing heavily on agriculture development in the region. He said this is evident with the promotion of new crops, cattle rearing, and the proposed construction of the Agriculture Research Station in the Napi area. He therefore urged the residents to get back into large-scale farming as a means to generate income into their village.
You know about Arnaputa, the peanut, and you yourselves here, you have cassava. What we need to do is to get, if you have not done that yet, to get the technical people and on your own strength, because I know you have that power to get persons to help in your development. What you need to do is to develop proposals, develop the concept of your project proposals, and we could help you to see how best we can assist.
The Indigenous Peoples Affairs Minister gave examples of the ventures, such as the sun-dried tomato project in the North Pakaraima in Region 8. He told the Toka residents to use this project as an example to develop their own unique products.
From 40, they've gone up to like 120 people now in a co-op. And they're looking at new varieties. Now they're getting they want to get a vehicle now to transport their stuff from farm to market, farm to their center of drying. And the people from right there are trained to handle the product and ship it down to Georgetown. You have people who train in Georgetown to add value, and it is being sold.
Minister Alicock also reminded the people that a coalition government has a responsibility to serve the Guyanese people and will do so.
We are still in government. We have not had elections. We have not had a new president or a new government installed because we have not had elections. We have not had a word from the Elections Commission to say exactly when the date will be. But there has been a lot of speculation, a lot of things happening. So our government, the coalition government, believes in telling you the facts, giving you the facts, so that you could be able to understand what is happening. And that is why we are so concerned about proper information to the masses.
Tusha of Toka, Eugene Isaac, said the farming tools will add to the tractor they received in 2015 in boosting their agriculture activities. The Tusha, however, said land extension and demarcation remains an issue. Minister Alikok committed to addressing this issue and encouraged the council to dispatch a letter to his ministry, which he will forward to the relevant authorities.
I hear you with the land. Let us see what could happen. You see, this thing is a partnership, It's not a one-sided thing. You can't do it all. Neither can the government do it all. We work in collaboration, we work in unity, work as the coalition has been working. You're part of the whole process to get the answers that you need. So let us continue to work. I respect the council. We would like to continue to be that that partner that we feel is going to make the change.
The residents were also high in praise of the work done by a Partnership for National Unity, Alliance for Change government over the past 3 years that has transformed the village.
When you're struggling to survive, it's hard to dream. And I think Toka was struggling to survive and it was hard to dream. And we start to see some light now, and we're trying to bring things on stream.
Addressing the current political issues, Tushau Isaacs made it clear that the Constitution does not refer to any caretaker government or an interim government.
My hope is that the 5 years is given to the government. It is my hope, and I'm praying about it, that you all would also get the, I'm not so confident about the appeal court, but I hope, but the CCGA, I'm almost certain that we're going to get a victory there and the government will continue.
Echoing similar sentiments was resident Ken R. Davis, who noted that Toka is developing rapidly and is confident that progress will continue in 2020 and beyond.
I'm not afraid of none of them because I know elections wouldn't be this year. It would be 2020. That's how I see it, because I read the Constitution a little and I know about the 169 and the 167 and all these things. So we don't be afraid of them things, because he said, beware of Antichrist, so we beware of them.
Over at Rupati and Quatamang, Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan handed over water pumps and farming tools and a brush cutter to the residents. The donation to the farmers who are engaged in small-scale farming will now ease the stress in providing water to the farmlands.
I must say I'm very happy with the way you have phrased and posed your request, which is, it tells me that with support from the government, that you are prepared to step forward. You use a very important word, group. You said you can form yourselves into groups of people and take advantage of assistance that is being offered by the government, and in a sort of cooperative effort, change and reverse these conditions where you have to go outside of your community to buy vegetables. You have arable land and you have the labor force available, and you can produce the vegetables and the greens right here in your community, that you can benefit from this program, that the hot meal program don't have to go to Anaputa and elsewhere to buy these things, that it can support the economic vitality and health of your village and improve these conditions.
The tools included garden forks, pickaxes, hoes, shovels, spades and cutlasses. Residents of Quatamang in particular noted that the pumps and farming tools will allow them to plant more crops and possibly supply the school feeding program at the community nursery and primary schools.
We are not planting like greens because we don't have no water system. We are willing to plant those things, but we are not getting. I see water pump is there. Those are kind of water pump we need. It's not for the whole community, but we could, if we get about 4 or 5, I don't know, we could form a group so that we could get this thing growing to supply our hot meals or whatever, or for our use maybe. A lot of things we could do, we could have out of it.
Minister Bolka noted that the school feeding program has more than doubled since 2014, when 3,553 students in 21 Rupununi schools were served at a cost of $117 million. Residents of Rupati made a request to the minister for the construction of a primary school in their village. Primary school students currently attend classes in Anai, and residents related that the miles-long trek in the rainy season poses challenges. Minister Bolka noted that the child population in the village is on the rise, and he understood the need for the request and will convey the same to the Minister of Education, Dr. Nicolette Henry. Minister of Citizenship Winston Felix's first stop was in Arnaputa village, which was recently transformed into an NDC village. At the Arnaputa block-making facility, the minister handed over several supplies. These included a generator, water pump, and wheelbarrows. Minister Felix called on the residents to ensure the project is properly managed so that it can generate income for the village and expand their productive base.
I want to encourage you to manage this project. Manage this project. Manage the use of the equipment in the first instance so that it would efficiently produce blocks at a cheaper price. Manage it so that it would have longevity and would serve you for years to come until you can then buy your own. That's the objective, to create wealth, to build from a shed to a complex and expand your productive base so that you can have pallets. You know pallets? You could have a forklift with 100 blocks on them that you can move from storage to vehicles. That is how I want you to look at this project. This project is like a seed.
Minister Felix further highlighted that if managed properly, the project will become one of the leading suppliers of concrete bricks in the region. He reminded the residents of the abundance of resources which can be utilized to meet their needs.
So I want to encourage you with this block making activity and to look out to other areas in which you can grow, you can initiate in the first instance, grow and develop. There are several areas. You just have to select the ones which you think under your guidance can improve and develop. The Rupununi is too far from the center to be dependent. The Rupununi has enough resources to enable you to attend to all the needs of this community. And so I'm encouraging you today to continue this spirit of innovation, bringing on new ideas of economic ventures which would address the concerns of this community, but don't let it stop here.
Chairperson for the Arnaputa Block Making Project, Michelle Alexander, thanked the minister for the donation and noted that it will significantly benefit the villagers as well as the youths.
I am very happy that the donation that they are made here today, it is successful, and it we got it. It came through the promise that they promised us. We are happy for the very large generator that they are giving to us, the machine. We know it will be a beneficiary to the villagers, especially the youth. We are targeting the young boys, them that do not have a job. So we are very happy for also the building that we have here to accommodate the stuff here.
He also engaged the residents in Anai. At the meeting, which was held at the Anai Community Benab, the residents raised several concerns regarding issuance of passports and materialization of the promise for a passport office to be established in Lethem.
Minister, this is directly to you, and this is based on passports. I remember the last time when Minister was in Arnaputa, the said Minister, Minister Felix, we raised issues, and one of the issues raised at Arnaputa was based on passports, because a lot of us in Region 9, we don't have passports. Many of us have the opportunity of traveling, but we cannot travel because we don't have a passport. And I think he alluded that soon there would be a passport office in Region 9, which would have been in Lethem, where all the NDCs and the RDCs office are. But today, I don't think we've heard anything about any passport office or seen anything. And I personally, on behalf of the people, would like to question that.
Minister Felix stated that the establishment of a passport office in Lethem is a work in progress and assured the residents that it will be realized.
A passport office in Region 9. Words have been transformed into action. One, in the 2019 budget, there has been provision made for the establishment of the passport office in Lethem. Money has been voted. Now, once the money has been voted, a series of actions must take place. One, the first step that has been taken, I have forwarded the estimates for the passport. One, the land has been acquired. Right? The land has been acquired. The formalities are now being prepared to have the council approve the building. That is work in progress now. But to get the construction done, we have to tender the project. I have already sent the papers up to be processed, to be sent to the tender board, where contractors will tender, somebody will get an award, and then construction will start.
The beautiful community of Rewa, located on the bank of the Rupununi River, was visited by a minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Keith Scott. He was accompanied by Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Ministerial Advisor Mervyn Williams and Legal Advisor Davis James. During the community meeting, Minister Keith Scott highlighted the need for a greater sense of community and assured residents of Rewa and Wawetta that the government is committed to the development of its people.
It is therefore the duty of a government to ensure that we carry the entire society forward. And our job is to make sure that we carry Guyana forward, and you are Guyanese. You're part of Guyana. And if you don't progress, if you don't go forward.
Mervyn Williams highlighted President Granger's love for the region, adding that its people, its culture, and its produce are natural treasures.
And he boasts all across the world, not just in Guyana, that Region 9 is larger than Costa Rica, has tremendous potential, has wonderful people, and a wealth of natural resources that can contribute in a meaningful way to the development of this country.
In the South Pakaraima, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock and Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Valerie Garida Lowe, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams, Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan, Minister of Citizenship Winston Felix, and Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan spread out in the villages of Karasabai and Tiger Pond. At Karasabai, during the interactive session, the residents spoke of the need for a secondary school and dormitory to be constructed to ease the burden of parents with children living in far-flung areas.
For some families, it is a burden, an economic burden. Here in Karasabai, some of us, we don't have a stable income, right? So to provide for these students, it is a burden.
Karasabai Primary School currently has a secondary department that accommodates 173 students from the village and neighboring villages such as Paipang, Tiger Pond, Uramparu, Tiparu, and Rukamutu. Headmistress Michelle George explained that the students are being housed at guardians in the community.
Because some guardians, they are having 5, 4, 3, 2 children like that at each family. Okay. And we also need help with clothing. Some of them, they have no clothing, a minister. If you can please assist with clothing also. Sometimes you would like to take them to church and they always say there is no clothes. And how much we can afford. Uniforms also.
Minister Garida Low said that construction of the school and dormitory will be high on the agenda for 2020.
That is why we need to go back there. We need you to get us back there too, because we want to continue the good work, all right, to support the school children.
In the interim, the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs will provide a monthly stipend to the 30 guardians of the 79 pupils. Uniforms are already in the village to be distributed to the students. Additionally, the 2019 national budget caters for the extension of the department, and for the first time this year, the students will be sitting the Caribbean Examinations Council, CSEC. While updating the residents of Karasabay on the current political issue, Minister Basil Williams said he is confident that just as good triumphs over evil, the APNU-AFC government will triumph over the December 21 vote.
I am submitting to you, people of Karasabay, that the good works that the APNU-AFC have started in the 3.5 years in government, we have already started to transform Guyana after 23 years of you know what. And those 3.5 years cannot be eliminated and erased. But we are asking you to allow those years to continue so that the work of the APNU-AFC would flourish and multiply and be bountiful for the benefit of our Guyanese. So we are not bothered, as Valerie told you, about the act of treachery. Really is an act of treachery. You know, as a little child, when I was growing up, I read a lot. I read a lot of books. And the theme that ran through most of those books were good and evil. It was a good and evil theme. And to me, no matter what book you looked at and read, good always triumphed over evil. Y'all know that? Good always triumph over evil. And equally we be saying, we will triumph.
The Attorney General reminded the residents that the President can only set a date for elections unless advised by GCOM. In this regard, this will only be possible unless the Elections Commission is prepared to host an election. He clarified that GCOM had budgeted funds for house-to-house registration and not a national election. He added that Guyana is on the cusp of development with a new and emerging oil and gas sector, and therefore the resources that will accrue from the industry must be placed in the hands of qualified persons.
The APNU-AFC government knows what it is doing. We are here to ensure that the people of Guyana have the best opportunities and a very good life, especially like how we are going to be producing oil shortly. And you have to look at the track record of people, because there are a lot of countries that have oil and the people are very poor.
The village, which is located approximately 8 miles from Karasabay, has experienced rapid population growth over the years, along with improved infrastructure with assistance from the government. During the meeting, Minister Bulkan assured the residents of the community that their concerns will be addressed.
We are not here on a sightseeing tour. We are here on a very important governmental activity. And all of the information that we would have received from these 32 villages that would have been visited in these past 3 days will be documented carefully, and it will be addressed by the government to see where changes can be made to the 2019 program and the budgetary allocations, that having heard once more directly from residents in their communities as to how we can reprogram our activities based on a justification. And this is why we look forward to hearing from you and to hearing some of your concerns so that, as Tushau said, that we can address them.
The historic region-wide 3-day ministerial outreach saw 19 ministers covering 28 villages as they fanned out across Region 9, meeting residents and addressing issues impeding their development. It is the first time these many ministers have visited the region at the same time. Described as a grassroots effort by Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu, the outreach aims to ensure an inclusive, participatory democracy by all citizens of Guyana. This has been InfoHub In Depth. Thank you for joining us.